Hey guys, welcome back to 22 Lima Romeo. I'm Jeremy, and today we are bringing you the official January 2025 NRL22 Monthly Course of Fire. Happy New Year to all you NRL22 shooters out there. I have to preface this video and let you know that this Course of Fire is actually pretty mild in comparison to some of the ones we saw at the end of 2024. The only reason why I spent these 5 stages on the struggle bus was because we had some really crazy winds out at the range. And if you've ever shot out at NCRGC, you know that sometimes this is just how the conditions are for us. So, without further ado and without any further yakking, let's get out to the range, shoot this Course of Fire, and we'll see what you guys think at the end.
First up for January 2025, we have Start New Year's Right with Precision. We have a 1 1/4 inch KWL rack at 60 yards and a 2.5 at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the largest KWL target and then the far target with 1 shot each from a prone position. Continue this engagement with targets 1 and 2 while decreasing down to the next smallest KWL target after each far target engagement. That is 1 inch, far target, 3/4 inch, far target, etc. The last 2 target engagements will be the 1/4 inch and far target. Warning. What you're about to see is 5 stages of struggle. Do not let that deter you from shooting this month's Course of Fire. The stages are really not that bad. They're very well thought out and very well designed. And on a calm day, this is going to be a relatively easy Course of Fire. So don't let my poor performance in this crazy wind deter you from getting out there and shooting in January. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into stage 1.
Range rules. Okay. All that is recorded. Oh, trigger cam.
Trigger cam.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready, sir?
Yep.
Stand by. Engage.
Starting things off this month, we have a prone stage, a real prone stage. For my gear, I'll be using the Harris SBRM bipod and the Armageddon Gear medium and heavy fill. I'll have my optics set between 20 and 25 power, and I'll be using holdovers for my target engagements. Prone stages really do capitalize on fundamentals of marksmanship. You really have to bring it all together to do well on a prone stage like this where we're engaging such small targets. I highly encourage you to get familiar with your parallax knob before starting this stage. Understanding which direction you need to turn your parallax knob in order to parallax your focus out and then back in is going to make you faster on this stage. But don't let that trick you into thinking that you need to be fast on this stage. This stage can be shot at a very slow pace, and that's actually what I recommend that we do here, is take our time and make sure that you're seeing those subtle changes in the wind if you have wind at your range, and making those corrections while you're staring down that optic. This stage is really going to reward patience and clean trigger pulls, good bag manipulation, and fast target acquisition.
That didn't make any sense at all.
Oftentimes, these prone stages are a really nice way to get your feet wet into this month's Course of Fire, and this is a great way for somebody who's brand new to the sport to get introduced to precision rifle shooting.
All right.
That was a pretty easy way to start this month's Course of Fire. Let's get on into stage 2.
Give it a good college try.
Next up, we have ball drop. We have 2 1-inch targets on double hangers 5 yards apart at 40 yards, and we have 2 3-inch targets on single hangers 8 yards apart at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, build a position on the designated prop and engage the targets with 1 shot each in the following order and manner. From the left side of the tire, targets 1, 2, 3, and 4. From the right side of the tire, targets 4, 3, 2, and 1. Finally, from the 5-gallon bucket, targets 1, 4, 3, then 2. With this clip, I just wanted to show you kind of how I do my pre-stage preparations, the mental checklist that I go through before I start a stage. I really do like to repeat the target sequence in my head or out loud to just solidify it in my mind before it's my turn to start.
I have no idea what the hell the wind's doing.
Whatever it wants.
What's my dope at 100?
It was 1.7 last. I'm gonna double check it.
For my gear on this stage, I'll be using the Grey Ops CNC Mini Plate Pro and the Weebad Strapless Behemoth. I'll also be using the Armageddon Gear Mini Plate Pro Pad. I'll have my optics set at about 12 power, and I'm going to dial for my ranges on this stage.
Ready?
Yeah.
Stand by. Engage.
So as we get started into stage 2, I'm going to use the Weebad Strapless Behemoth and build into a prone position using the bag as a rear support for the stock.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
This first engagement is just 1, 2, 3, then 4. I'm going to dial up and adjust the parallax so that I can potentially see the bullet in flight, or at least see where the bullet is impacting the target, and I can make those wind corrections in the future. The reason why I'm going to dial for this stage is because we're going to be taking 4 successive shots at those far targets.
4.
So we're going to transition over here to the right side of the tire, and we're going to just reverse the target engagement.
4.
Now this seems to be like a good time to talk about time management in this stage. While this stage does require a mag change, I highly encourage you to keep things moving because it would not be hard to time out on this stage in particular.
1.
Now as far as the target sequence goes, it's really not that tricky until we transition up here to the 5-gallon bucket. Now that's when things get a little complicated, and it's just because we need to shoot what I would consider an X pattern. We're going to start with the near left.
4.
We're going to shoot to the far right. Then move to the far left.
15 seconds.
3.
And our last shot is going to be near right. This was a good introduction to how target sequences can be a little tricky in this sport, but I don't think this one was too bad overall. I think this is a well-designed stage, and I'm curious to see what stage 3 has for us. Next up, we have New Buffalo Madness. We have a 2.5 on a double hanger at 88 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready, and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the targets with 2 shots from 5 different positions, starting with the left highest position you can reach. After every second shot, you must alternate to the opposite side, working your way down the pyramid. That is position 3, 4, 5, etc. Note, positions are the outside left and right 2x4 sections only. Restrictions: 1 bag only. A flat plate mounted bag is still considered a bag. This is also the bonus point stage, where you earn 0.1 bonus point per second remaining on the clock.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Stand by. Engage.
Getting into stage 3, we have our pyramid stage for the month. For my gear, I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium. That's it. I'll have my optics set at about 12 power, and I'll have my elevation and parallax dialed for that target array. For this stage, don't let the words on the paper really confuse you. This is actually pretty straightforward and simple. You're going to start on the left highest rung that you can reach. Now if you're tall, that would be the 5th. If you're short, that would be the 4th or even the 3rd. But that's the only position that is called out in the course description. After you break those 2 shots from the highest left rung that you can reach, you can then transition to any other rung as long as it's on the right side. Now me personally, I decided to shoot this from rung 3 and rung 2 because that's where I could maintain a kneeling position while I was transitioning to the left and the right side of the pyramid during this stage. Now being as this is the time stage, I wanted to have a little time left on the clock at the end because I wanted a few bonus points. Now I don't recommend that that be the primary focus of your attention while you're shooting this stage. Always go for those impacts first, and if the bonus points come later, that's just it, they're a bonus. I really do love this pyramid prop. I wouldn't necessarily say it's my favorite prop, but it is definitely at the top of the list of things that I like to shoot off of because of its versatility in position building training. Let's go ahead and get into stage 4. Next up, let's get 2025 rolling. We have 2 2-inch targets on double hangers at 75 yards, left and right, and we have a 1.5 on a single hanger in the center, also at 75 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready, and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, build a position on the designated prop and engage the targets with 2 shots each in the following order and manner. From the left side of the barrel at target 3. From the right side of the barrel at target 1, from the center of the barrel at target 2, then again from the left side at target 3, from the right side at target 1, and finally from the center at target 2. Note: secure the 55-gallon barrel so that it does not roll. With the theme of this stage, we're going to roll right on into stage 4. For my gear, I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium, and that's it. I'll have my optics set at about 12 power, and I'll have my elevation and parallax dialed for that target.
To right target, okay.
Ready?
I think so.
Are you supposed to go prone next to the barrel?
No, just off the top of the barrel.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Stand by. Engage.
Now this one does appear to be a little tricky, but it's really not once you dissect how you need to engage the targets. From the left side of the barrel, you're going to be shooting the right target. From the right side of the barrel, you're going to be shooting the left target. And from the center, you're going to be shooting the center target. As you can see, it's really not that complicated. Now it does say in the course description to secure the barrel so that it doesn't roll, and today was certainly no exception to that. With the wind that we had, we really needed some way to secure this barrel, because as you guys can see during the stage, I could not get still to save my life because of how much wind we were experiencing, both on the barrel and on my person. Like I said, when looking at this course of fire overall, it is really not that complicated, and it's actually going to be a really good introduction into NRL22 if this is somebody's first match. I just hope they don't experience the kind of winds that we were experiencing while at the range filming this course of fire. This is a stage that can be moved through pretty quickly because we only have one target range, so we're not having to adjust elevation or parallax. Building into positions should be a pretty repeatable thing. You should be able to effectively build into the exact same position from all 3 positions on the barrel. Time management is not going to be such a crucial component, although it is highly recommended that you still move pretty quickly, and considering the size of the targets, engage them relatively quickly so you can keep things rolling because this is a 12 round count stage. I'm really looking forward to redeeming myself during the match for this stage. Let's go ahead and get into the 5th and final stage for this month's match.
Dude, the wind is crazy.
Wrapping up this month's course of fire, we have Don't Get Blocked. We have a 1.5 and 2 inch on a double hanger at 71 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready, and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the targets in the following order and manner. From the center block, large once, small twice. From the right block apex, small once, large twice. From the left block apex, large once, small twice. Finally, from the center block again, small once, large twice. Restrictions. A bipod may be used, but must remain on the center block.
Okay. Ready?
Wrapping
No,
this month's
but
Course
yeah.
of Fire up, we have what I felt was the
Stand
most
by.
fun stage of this month's Course of Fire.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to be using the Armageddon Pierce Medium in heavy fill. I'll have my optic set at about 12 power again, and I'll have my elevation and parallax dialed
Large once.
for that target array.
Large once. Small twice.
Now, this particular stage is a little tricky with its shot sequence, but you're always going to fire one shot and then two shots, alternating back and forth between your targets.
Right.
If you look at it that way, it is really not that complicated.
Small once, large twice.
I really enjoyed this configuration of the bricks. I thought it was a clever use of this prop, and I'm glad that we see this kind of imagination being poured into a Course of Fire. In my mind, shooting from the apex of the bricks was going to be a little more complicated than it actually was. At first, you can see I was fumbling with the bag a little bit because I wasn't sure how it was going to work shooting from the apex. But if you just use the Schmedium as it was designed, it works out perfectly, and you can see that reticle goes pretty still to engage these targets. Now, this is another 12-round stage, so time is definitely going to be a factor. You're going to want to move through these shot sequences and positions relatively quickly because there is a mag change involved, at least for me. Now, all things considered, especially in comparison to some of the last matches that we shot in 2024, this was a really mild Course of Fire, and this is going to be great if you have a new shooter that you know that's just starting to get into the sport. I know that this Course of Fire has the potential to be a ton of fun. I just wish we didn't have such wild winds while we were out there filming it for you guys. Alright guys, well that is a wrap for the January 2025 NRL22 Monthly Course of Fire. Thank you Brandon Smith and Tim Fosburgh from New Buffalo, Michigan. You guys made an excellent Course of Fire for the new shooter who's just going to be getting into this sport after they open their brand new rifle on Christmas Day. Also, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate you being here, and we appreciate the support that you've shown us over the past couple of years. If you found value in this content, do me a huge favor, reach down there, click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you want to support us by buying us a cup of coffee, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/22 Lima Romeo. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up for the day, but again, we really appreciate you being here, and we hope to see you out on the range.